Cooperatives. You've maybe heard the word before, but what exactly are co-ops? They're not part of government, they're not charities, and they're not regular business corporations. So what are they? Well, co-ops are legally recognized groups that offer another way to organize people and activities to achieve common goals. Co-ops are person-centered, and they're able to consider more than just the bottom line. Community is at their heart. That's what sets them apart. They're guided by 7 internationally accepted principles that value self-help, democracy, equality, and community. Housing co-ops also follow the international principles, but homes are central to people's lives, their families, and well-being. What sets housing co-ops apart? Most people in BC either own their homes or they rent their housing from someone else, a private landlord, governmental organization, or a housing society. Housing co-ops offer a different way to live and offer unique benefits, but they aren't as well understood as other housing options. You can find housing co-ops across the province, but they're concentrated in the Lower Mainland and on southern Vancouver Island. There are 2 main kinds: nonprofit co-ops, which are the most common, and equity co-ops. There are more than 260 nonprofit housing co-ops in all, with more than 15,000 homes. We'll focus on the nonprofits. Co-op buildings come in all shapes and sizes. Co-op complexes range from a handful of homes to several hundred. There can be townhomes and apartments, family-oriented projects, and others that are geared to seniors. Most co-ops house mixed-age and mixed-income communities. Co-ops welcome everyone. All the housing co-ops in BC share some things in common. Co-ops are independent organizations. They aren't owned by the government or private landlords. They're not public housing. Members aren't renters. They own their homes together and pay housing charges, not rent. Unlike renters, members who live in co-ops have a say in how their housing is run. Because they're nonprofits, they operate at cost, which makes them more affordable over time. They also offer security of tenure. Members can stay as long as the co-op meets their needs, and they follow the rules that they agree to together. Most importantly to many, co-ops are communities where members know and support each other. They're also part of a bigger community of co-ops, locally, nationally, and internationally. Not everyone will find co-ops a perfect fit, but many members wouldn't live anywhere else. Maybe the biggest downside to co-ops is that there aren't enough of them to meet the demand, but we're working on that. Housing co-ops, old and new, find support from a number of organizations. Many co-ops have or have had relationships with government. But the main bodies that represent housing co-ops are the Cooperative Housing Federation of British Columbia and the Cooperative Housing Federation of Canada, which work together. CHF BC and CHF Canada are also co-ops, and they provide advice, planning assistance, education, advocacy, and group buying options to their members. These sector organizations are independent and they aren't funded by government. Members choose to join, and CHF BC is proud to count more than 90% of nonprofit housing co-ops in BC as members. To learn more about housing co-ops in BC or
Hey guys, I'm going to take you on the most in-depth tour of Streetsville that you have seen. We're starting here at the Fresh Approach Team headquarters. We're at the south end of Queen Street, and we're gonna work our way north. Let's go. So I bet you didn't think we were gonna start in the graveyard, but here, this is a monument to Streetsville. It kind of marks the very end of the street, the downtown core. When you're driving south on Queen Street, you'll know that you've hit the right place when you've seen the graveyard. Okay, fun fact about this graveyard. So our office was actually one of the first buildings in all of Streetsville, and there's a bunker underneath. What we think is that the bunker was made in Prohibition so that people could go across Queen Street to this graveyard, and they used to uncover the graves to take jewelry off of the dead bodies here. This was something that happened in the 1800s and has always been this existing story in Streetsville. Okay, we're gonna jump in my car and we're gonna head to center of Streetsville. But before then, on the south side here, we're gonna see Vic Johnson Arena. This is where the kids play hockey, sport. You can rent out the arena actually for your own events. I've rented it out many times. We've even used to have our Fresh Approach parties here. And there's also a church. And I've actually been to weddings at this church. Beautiful. Okay, so we're at the corner of Queen and Princess right now. We're gonna head down Queen Street towards the center of Streetsville. So you're gonna notice along here that there's been a lot of new businesses coming up. We've got restaurants, really good ones. There's actually a good taco place across the road from our office. The BIA. I'm gonna take you back to the BIA later because I gotta show you the gardens there. It's on the Streetsville walking tour. And actually our garden used to be on the Streetsville walking tour too. So another cool thing to know about Streetsville is every year we've got the Bread and Honey Festival. It's a really nice community event. So I recommend checking it out if you live anywhere in Mississauga or even outside of Mississauga if you're thinking about moving here. Some of the boutique shops in Streetsville are really awesome for like if you need to buy a gift. There's florists, crafted decor is one of our favorite. Anytime I need a gift for a client or I'm in a pinch, I love walking over there. The owner is just lovely there. Okay, so we just parked. I'm gonna take you guys through Center Streetsville and we'll have a look at some of the boutique shops and cool places to see in Streetsville. Let's go. Okay, I gotta give a shout out to my friends at Village Hair Studio. They are the ones who do my hair. And here we are sort of in the center of town in Streetsville. There is lots to see and do around here. Kind of all year long, the village of Streetsville is quite busy. Weekends, you'll find that there's a lot of foot traffic though. People are out about shopping. It's so lovely. I even love the way that they do the flowers here. They call it the Ville. Let's go down and see some more shops. Okay, as a foodie, I like to point out the different restaurants, obviously, that Streetsville has to offer. Saucy's has been a staple restaurant for many years. It's a nice upper scale place to eat. Also, the original Goodfellas was here in Streetsville. Now they've become a chain around the GTA. A thing to know about Streetsville is as much as it feels like a small town, it's actually a big town. There's over 50,000 people who live in Streetsville from all walks of life. You could own a condo from a large detached. People are building huge custom homes. We've got a luxury market. We've also got a great rental market. So at any price point, you can live in Streetsville. And I can't go without pointing out the plaque of our beloved Mayor Hazel McCallion from Mississauga. She served our city for a long, long time. She lived over 100 years and they just made a plaque for her here in Streetsville. We had to make a stop at this epic spot in Streetsville, which is a staple in the community. It's Murphy's Ice Cream Parlor. I used to come here as a kid. It's an awesome spot to bring the family, and there's a little courtyard to sit out and enjoy and relax. And we had to end it off here at the BIA. They've got a beautiful, serene garden, super quiet place to relax, read a book. Can you believe this is right in the heart of Streetsville? So I think I gave you a pretty good in-depth analysis about what Streetsville has to offer. But of course, I'd like to explore your unique situation, cater my tour for you. So if you'd like a personal experience, then please get in touch so we can get started right away for you. We can work with your budget, whatever you're looking to do here in Streetsville. We're happy to bring you here.